Okay, one of the main things we're going to need for this soup is a canning kit. And in that kit you will find a funnel. And the funnel is actually to put into our jar to ladle our food in. Makes a nice neat job of putting the food in the jar. The next thing we'll need is a jar lifter, and this actually helps prevent our hands from getting burned in the fire, in the hot water, I'm sorry. So we lift up the jar with the lifter and put it into the canner once it is filled with the food. We will also need a magnet or a lid lifter, and this is used to take our boiling lids out of the hot boiling water, our hot lids out of the boiling water, so that we don't burn our hands and we can keep the lid sterile when it is placed on the jar. We'll need some measuring spoons, and I have pre-measured our ingredients, but when you do this you will actually need the measuring spoons to measure out especially your seasonings for this recipe. We will need this is a measuring device and a bubble remover. And this measures the headspace on the jars when we can the food. And headspace is very important, as we've talked about in one of our previous videos, and we'll link you to that video a little later. But the headspace measurements are on the bottom here, and your recipe will tell you the proper headspace for the product that you are canning. We will need a small bowl of water, and we'll use that along with a little square of paper towel to wipe the rims of the jar so that we can have a good contact between the seal on the lid and the jar rim so that the jar properly seals in the canner. You'll need some measuring cups to measure your vegetables, and a ladle. We'll need a ladle to scoop our soup out of our pot into the jar. We will also need a spoon. We have to mix those ingredients up in the pot. A timer is valuable because every product has to be timed for a specific amount of time specified in the recipe in order to prevent botulism growth in the finished product. So we definitely need a timer. Plenty of towels, placemats for your hot jars when they come out of the canner. And then we will also need some bigger items. We will need a water bath canner. And in that water bath canner, I have my heated jars. Hot food must go into a hot jar to prevent thermal shock when you put it into a hot canner. So my jars are heated, my canner is already heated, and then the last thing we need is a big stock pot or a Dutch oven. A Dutch oven works really well for this. The heavy cast iron conducts heat evenly and it also adds iron to the food, and that's a nutrient that our body needs for good nutrition. So now we will get started in going over our ingredients, and then we will make our soup.